In my wife's car, I'm going to run these Infinities. They're the Primus PR6500CS. These are the same speakers that I put in my Focus, and I was really happy with them. And since I believe this year's model is being discontinued, these things went from $140 to you can get them now for like 75 bucks on eBay, brand new. So highly suggest these if you're gonna do anything. They come with a plethora of mounting positions and housings and everything for the tweeters. So depending on your setup, these should work out good. And they're 1/2-inch tweeters, so they don't take up a lot of space. But right now we're not doing the tweeters, so we're gonna do these 6.5s first. So I learned something pulling apart the passenger door in preparation for this video, and I learned that these plastic bits are Chinese pieces of fucking shit, okay? Sorry for being so rude, but fuck you, Ford. I mean, goddamn, you make the interior look pretty nice, right? It's the nicest looking one out of the whole class, more or less. And you put some bullshit that just, I fucking swear to God, if I had some CEO's fucking phone numbers and home addresses, I would fucking shred this and pour it all over their goddamn dogs. No. I'm just fucking around. Anyways, you're gonna need to know this. The front parts, so here, and on the passenger side, it's here. The front parts of each of the doors is a tab that comes out and locks in underneath here. Okay, which means you need to pull the back side up first, which is what I was trying on this side, which there is 2 clips on this, and when I did it, I pulled up and snap. So the other option is going to be to release this clip down here first. Since there's more plastic holding this together, it's not going to just shatter. Alright, so prying against this isn't really a good idea. See, it flexes a lot. So what you want to do is put the screwdriver under and then lift straight up right here in the corner, and then just lift up. These things are super tight, so it's gonna feel like you almost broke it, but I got this one out without breaking it. So just put the screwdriver in here, give it a little twist to pop these to where they're loose, right here and here, and then grab underneath like this and pull up like that. And as you can see on this one, since I didn't break it, it has a tab here. So the tab goes in and then down. Now you're going to use a pick. Behind here there's a little plastic door. See the outline here? Right behind the door handle is a good place to pry. There's a see that whole piece? So we're going to pry it in the left hand corner and it'll pop right out. So I'm going to pry here and boom. So that just popped out. And you cannot pry at the front of the door because of the same shit they did down here. They put a tab that locks it in, so you have to pop it from the back and pull it out. Now down here there's a reflector. On the reflector you're just going to pry this one away and it'll come right out. Once you get the controls off and the other pieces off, go ahead, take a 7mm socket. If you don't have one of these, get a nut driver or whatever, and just take off from here 2 under the handle, 1 on the side, and 1 on the bottom. Once you get all the screws out of the door, grab a panel popper and start at the bottom. The first one is right here, So slide it over and then pry it away. You're going to have a second one right here and a third one right up here. Now it should be enough. There we go. To pop everything loose. Like so. And one more on top. These things are on stupid tight. The focus was not this hard. So if you've done it on a focus, this is 3 times harder. Then shimmy it up. We're going to have tabs towards the front. There's 2 of them. Push it. And then should be able to get it. Come out here. Get the door a little closer. Once it's out, you twist it sideways, and the handle is now loose. But you have a plug, a couple plugs that you need to undo from the handle. You have one for the LED light on the door handle, and then you have one that is more than likely the power that goes here on the door that comes out of this harness. Now that we have the door panel off, we can focus on the speaker. So first thing you want to do, just push the clip. We're going to reuse all the stock mounting and stock plugs and everything. So just put that off to the side. The same 7mm will work on this. Take these screws out. What I did notice is those are not made out of paper like the Ford Focus speakers. This is, however, 1 year newer. So maybe Ford saw my video bitching about their radio and pulled their head out of their ass. Who knows? Anyways, once you have all 3, it's got a little peg, I guess, right here, and one on the other side. So get it out. Let's see. No, well, same 25-watt speakers. They actually look exactly the same. So seems to be they only swapped out the woofer cone material. The surround is still the same garbage, and the whole backside. This is not a way to do filtering. I mean, I guess it works, but it's cheap as shit. So what we're gonna do now, remove the guts of the speaker from the housing. We're gonna leave these terminals here so that we can take the new speaker and wire the terminals from here to here so that we can plug in the factory plug. First thing we're going to do is take a new knife here. We're going to cut out the surround of the speaker, like so. We're going to, don't worry about being pretty right now, you can clean it up after. You just want to get it to where it's not connected anymore. Get a good pair of dikes, side cutters, whatever you guys want to call them. But take these, you're going to cut these supports out now. And I like to start cutting them in the middle and then trimming them after. This one's a little more tricky because you don't have a whole lot of room by the inductor. Trim these wires away from this terminal first. We're going to shorten them later and get rid of them. I'm going to have to cut the wires that connect this to it. So that chunk goes in the garbage. Next, pull this foam out. Make sure if you get it by the sticky tape, it comes out nice and clean like this. Next thing we want to do is just get rid of the leftovers here. So going from the front side doesn't really work usually. So just come here, make sure you cut below the ring here. You don't want to mess this ring up. Just no real point to doing that. And as you see when I put the new speaker in, even if these stick out a little bit, the new speaker doesn't even touch them. So you just want to get rid of these. So there's all of them, but this one, since the coil's mounted to it, it's easier to do it from this side. Now I'll go ahead and take the blade and trim off this axis from before to clean it up so it's nice like this the whole way around. Most of the speakers nowadays come with grills, so you're going to just grab this grill and throw it in the garbage. Nobody gives a shit about the grills. So your door is going to be covering it anyways. So these are 320 watt peak, which peak numbers don't mean anything. If you want to know the RMS, you can look it up online. They're 3 ohms instead of 4 ohms. So that's going to push the amplifier unit in your car a little bit harder. Most amps are good to 2 ohms. And then most of the D-class ones are good to 1 ohm. So you don't have nothing to worry about. You can run this with a factory amp. So now we need to put this inside of this. But as I'm about to show you, the mounting holes for the aftermarket speaker here, they hit this lip around the edge. So the answer is to just take a pair of dikes, cut it flush right here with the metal ring, like that, all the way around. Now that you cut it, it fits right inside, no problems. When mounting this, however, you want to make sure the terminals on the factory mounting bracket and the speaker are next to each other. The polarities are actually the same, even though it doesn't say anything here. You're just going to go straight across with a piece of wire from here to here and here to here. And it is the right polarity, and the speaker will work just fine. So what you're going to want to do, these are the screws that came with it. This is where it gets tricky. If you have 2 people, it works out way better. Because you can have one person squeeze the 2 together and one person screw in the actual speaker. So that's pretty much what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to have my wife hold this, and I'm going to put the screws in and show you what it looks like after. So now the speaker's mounted in, and that's what it looks like. Next thing I like to do, this is my personal preference because we are screwed into just some junky plastic, right? So I'm going to take a hot glue gun, because if I ever want to switch the speakers or I blow the speaker, I don't want to use epoxy because it'll be impossible to get out. So I use hot glue and I fill all the way around the speaker, any little gaps. and in here. So when it vibrates, it doesn't vibrate the screws loose. So this whole chunk will vibrate as one piece, and these two will be hot glue gun together. But if the speaker blows, you can take a razor or X-Acto knife or even a tiny flathead and rip out the hot glue. So here's the hot glue. This is all I do, just like so. It is hot glue, so don't get this shit on your fingers, please. And then comment saying, "Oh, I burned myself." Because I don't give a shit. Don't burn yourself. So we're just going to go all the way around like so. Alright, we're in the house here now just because it's easier. I have counter space. Anyways, first thing you want to do is cut a little bit extra long speaker wire. You'll be able to tuck it later. Even if it goes like this, it's fine. So 2 of those. One of them I make longer and I split it in half and twist them because I'm going to use these holes on the stock speakers. And you'll see why in a second. And then for here, we're just gonna solder these straight against like so. But to do any of that, we have to first take out this old one. So we're gonna grab it like so, heat it up. I should be using some sort of flux, but I don't technically have any on me right now. And I'm using rosin core solder, so that should take care of re-soldering it with the new wire. But it's just going to take a little longer to heat this up without the flux. So get those out. Take these. I like to use red as positive. So the new speaker will be marked from the factory, red and or positive and negative. So I always use copper since it looks red as positive. Or if I have a lot that's still hot, don't burn yourself. If your wires are both silver and one of them has a line, I usually make the line the positive. Just as long as you know what the hell you set it to, you'll be fine. And if you're doing a whole system with an amp and everything, make sure you do the same convention for your entire car, because if you don't, if someone else buys it, they're not going to know what the hell's going on. So use some rosin core flux, or rosin core solder. Put a little bit on the tip, heat it up, and I'm going to force feed the shit out of this. Bang. So that's a little much for what you actually would really need to put, but I don't like messing with it after the fact, and it flows better this way. So anyways, I definitely wouldn't be doing flight boards like this. There we go. So that one's set. So now, like I said before, you're gonna go right on the speaker, or whatever position you're looking at it from. Right is gonna go to the right. So over here, we're gonna take this, put a little more solder on this pin. Be careful with this pin because the plastic likes to melt. So you don't want to put too much heat on this pin over here. So you're gonna heat it. And I just need a little bit more. You just want to make sure your wire looks like it's covered. like so. One more. So now all we got left is put this back in. Plug the speaker in. Now, see, I got a little hot from when I did it. So just take a flathead and straighten the pins. And then put this in. And reverse all the directions I told you at the beginning of the video. And you're done with these 6.5s. To get the weather stripping out next, you come here to the split and you pull it away, and we're gonna pull all the way to make it easy up in this corner, just so it doesn't mess with you. Then we're gonna pull this piece off, which there's 3 clips going down the center. There's one up top, one here, and one here. So you have to get in here, find the clip like so, and give it a nice tug. And there you go, it's out. Now we have to take this off, which is a pain in the ass. So get a pair of needle nose pliers. You're gonna have to go inside here and press the little clip in. I think this is so if the airbags go off, the plastic doesn't fly into your melon. And so they have this little tab here, which I'll show you once I pull it out. So if you look inside of here, they have this that goes through that opening. So when the airbags deploy, it flings this out away from your face, I think. Don't know for sure, but that's what it sure looks like. So make sure not to just yank on it, because you will yank on this, and then who knows what that'll do. Yeah. Now we need to disconnect this from the car. You just push this little clip, it'll come out. Then, using a flathead or a pair of pliers or whatever you want to do, your fingers, they have these clips here, here, and here, these 3 clips. You're just going to pull it off that way, like so. Then we're going to put the new tweeter in here. Alright, for this application we're going to use this style housing because it fits right in here and it makes it nice and easy to attach with the hot glue. So we're just going to feed through here. Most of these now have a turn lock system, so the tweeter doesn't come out. So we're just going to mount it in here like so, right? Then we're going to take the hot glue and we're going to come around like this. I like to just put dabs up here, dab there. I only put it where the 2 contact, and I use hot glue so I can remove it later if I have to. So you need to, when you're hooking up the front left tweeter, green orange is going to be positive. You hook that to positive, and then the internet doesn't seem to be on the same page on what color this is, whether it's gray or purple or violet. It says gray orange, so I'm gonna take that for what it is, but it looks like purple red actually. So anyways, this color is gonna be your negative. Put them together however you want. Just do not use butt connectors. These are nice because you twist the wire and then crimp it, or you can use solder the 2 ends that plug into each other. It's up to you. Alright, on this side, purple orange is your positive, yellow orange is your negative, and just do it the same way you did the other side. Now when you're putting this back together, you have to make sure in the back corner there's 2 tabs, that have to go into place. So it should slide in like this. Now, don't just go ahead and plug it in right away, because you have to put this retainer piece back in again. So the way I did it was I put in the first little tab, grab needle nose, because you have to turn it 90 degrees and then pull it. So now if you look in this hole, it's latched. Now you can go ahead, line it back up, and put it in. Once you have it in, go ahead, grab those weather stripping and slowly work it back. And then put the bottom in here first and then finish it off. Now that we're in the back, you're going to want to unplug the center plug. There's 2 in the black and 1 in the gray right here. You're going to unplug the gray plug that plugs into the black harness. Alright, once you have that done, for the what is this? This is the passenger side. You're going to do white purple is your positive input to your crossover. Okay, so you're going to cut the white purple, give it like 1.5 inches, 2 inches of slack. White purple to the positive, white orange to the negative of your crossover. Okay, then from the other side, which is your output of the crossover, that goes to your tweeter and your woofer. So your tweeter positive is going to be the purple orange. Your tweeter negative is going to be your yellow orange. Then you're back to your woofer colors here, the same thing. So you're going to have woofer positive is white purple. Woofer negative is white orange. Then the 2 tweeter leftovers you're going to cap like so. And that is all you have to do for the passenger side. Okay, for the driver side, it's going to be the same thing. You're going to cut with an inch or so, 1.5 inches of spare wire on your tweeter, which is orange green and gray orange. In the back, it's a better color gray than the front, so it is gray orange. And then put a cap on them. Your woofer is going to be white and white brown. Your white is a positive that goes into the input of the crossover. White brown is a negative. Then on the output, it's going to be the same thing. The woofer is going to be your white. Your woofer negative is going to be your white brown. And then your tweeter is the positive is green orange. Your negative is gray orange. And now we are completely done and ready to put this back together back here, and I'll show you what that looks like. So you're gonna have to fiddle with the wires and everything a little bit. It's pretty tight fit, but it does fit. And when you raise the seat, there's no issues. So it's a pretty clean install overall, especially since you're never gonna see any of this crap anyways. But I'm gonna go ahead, put the lid back on here, and we're done with the fronts.